Hi, welcome to Daily Dulcinea. Today is Wednesday, August 6th, 2008, and we have Erin here today to tell us about what happened on this day in history.
On this day in history, August 6, 1945, the U.S. dropped Little Boy, a 9,700-pound atomic bomb on Hiroshima. The U.S. had been engaged in conflict with Japan since 1941 after the attack on Pearl Harbor, which drew them into World War II. They allied with the Soviet Union and Britain against the Axis forces. And in 1942 found out that Germany was working to develop nuclear weapons. So at that point, the U.S. launched the Manhattan Project, which was an initiative to develop the atomic bomb before its enemies did. And they actually succeeded on July 16th, 1945, 3 weeks before the Hiroshima bombing, by detonating the world's first atomic bomb at an airbase in New Mexico.
Wow, so what happened after they knew that the bomb could work?
Well, about a week afterwards, President Harry Truman and the other Allied leaders issued an ultimatum. It was called the Potsdam Declaration to Japanese leaders, saying that, either unconditionally surrender or we're going to drop bombs. We have these weapons. They work now.
Right.
Japanese leaders didn't accept their terms, and on August 6th, they dropped Little Boy on Hiroshima. It was a major military base. It had over 300,000 residents living there. Those who weren't killed immediately by the blast suffered in the following days and following weeks from radiation. They had awful symptoms, loss of hair, hemorrhages, leukemia-like things. So just complete devastation.
Wow, and what were people's reactions after seeing what the bomb could do?
Well, Japanese Radio Tokyo, in fact, called it, a diabolical weapon and cold-blooded. But Truman and the American government was pretty much in awe at the power of the weapon they had created. And just hours after the bombing, in fact, Truman issued a press release and told Japanese leaders, you've seen what we can do, and told them again to accept the Potsdam Declaration, or in his words, that they were going to undergo a rain of ruin from the air. And once again, Japanese leaders, didn't heed the warning, and 3 days later, they dropped the second atomic bomb, which was called Fat Man, on Nagasaki. So a few days later, on August 14th, the Japanese government finally surrendered. Emperor Hirohito called for peace among the nations, and finally people in America and across the world could celebrate the end of World War II.
Yeah, well, like in any war, there's a lot of controversy over whether or not the government handled the situation appropriately. And you can read more about that on findingdulcinea.com, and that's today's Daily Dulcinea.